Palantir is a company that many people have heard of, but they don't know exactly what it does. Today I'm going to explain how Palantir has become a key part of the US military-industrial complex and how its corporate executives profit from war. Now, Palantir is a company that provides software primarily to Western governments, especially the US government. It has been given huge contracts from the US military and the Department of Homeland Security and the notoriously violent immigration agency, ICE. Palantir is involved in mass surveillance and so-called predictive policing, which is exactly the kind of thing we were warned about in dystopian science fiction movies. And the majority of Palantir's revenue comes from government contracts. The executives of Palantir are extremely hawkish, especially Palantir's CEO, Alex Karp, who's a warmonger constantly pushing for more war. In fact, he has said very openly that he expects that in the near future, the US is going to be fighting a three-front war against Russia, Iran, and China. And it's not an exaggeration to say that Palantir is preparing the US government for World War III, and it hopes to profit and make a lot of money, especially by saber-rattling against China. Palantir is also very close to the Donald Trump administration. Trump has given Palantir tons of contracts for multiple different US government agencies, and in particular, the Trump administration is relying on Palantir to conduct mass surveillance of Americans, of US citizens, to compile and synthesize data from all US government agencies in order to help the government spy better on its own citizens. And because Palantir is so close to Trump and his allies, as soon as Trump won the presidential election in November 2024, Palantir's stock skyrocketed and broke records as investors assumed, correctly, that the Trump administration would give more and more contracts to Palantir. However, it soon became clear that Palantir stock was extremely overvalued, with price-to-earnings ratios that were absolutely off the charts and did not make any sense. They were completely illogical based on manic speculation. It was in a bubble, and that bubble popped in November 2025, a year later, especially when renowned investors like Michael Burry of the movie The Big Short announced that he was shorting Palantir's stock. And this freaked out Palantir's corporate executives, especially the CEO, Alex Karp,